Yeah, and we will be leading off with the grand finals of doubles, which is Flamberik and Kohza on the winner's side against Focus Smiths and Addymestic on the loser's side. That is Loxodon Crag, a double heavy team, versus double Rano. So some very interesting teams we've got up ahead. Double heavies is actually incredibly popular, pretty much worldwide so far, just because it's kind of always effective. It's really easy to get your game plan going and just sort of bully your opponents.
Yeah, I do think it works really well in this game just because the stages are a little bit tinier and the heavies are usually pretty big in this game. So obviously it kind of works well in order to just have a lot of hitboxes everywhere. But it can also be a little bit unwieldy if you're not too careful. You can just end up hitting your partner a little bit too much.
Yeah, it's incredibly easy, especially for like Loxodon and Crag. To just take 100% every single interaction if they're not careful, because they'll just get comboed back and forth between, even though, as you said, their own teammates or very effective combo characters like Rano. Rano is incredible in doubles in my opinion because he has these very quick hitting aerials that hit very, very hard, combo really easily into each other because they send out very nice, simple angles, and overall it just makes them very effective at comboing and killing as well, as we see one kill already come out and Flamberik just about surviving on the top.
Yeah, and I will say also, Double Rano is kind of an interesting team, just because obviously they're going to be able to profit from the poison from each other. So I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see how they can use the poison and kind of just try and trap a lot in the bubble. So far it's not really working too much to their advantage. Like, we're just throwing out some quick hitboxes here and there to try and just annoy as much as possible the heavies. But, I mean, we might see that later in the set.
It's good you mentioned bubble though, because what the big doubles grinders have to believe about double Rano is their bubbles for saving themselves are insane. At every single moment you can have two bubbles catching you if you get some left, right or up, and it means that this team actually has really high survivability despite just being midweight floaters.
Yeah, Rano is just really good at just survivability in doubles just because of that, because you can always kind of send the Rano into his own bubble if you're a teammate. So he's kind of good for that, honestly. The real problem is that I have no idea which Rano is which right now.
I believe that Tuxedo Rano is Focus Miss and just base skin Rano is Addymestic.
Yeah, I believe Focus Miss does really like this skin, to be fair, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Likes a lot of different ones. He's been liking the Challenger one recently, actually, but it doesn't really help when someone's using a base skin Rano. It's really hard to tell them apart. So he's opted for this for clarity, and so far the clarity's paying off right now. We are all at one stock apiece on this game. In particular, Flamberik, who is really high percent, who gets an F smash out since Addymestic all the way to the side of the stage. So Focus is playing a 2v1 right now, and then comboed into the up smash. Addymestic in a perilous position, but just about makes it back.
Yeah, and we had a shield break on the other side as well. Thankfully, just a little bit too low percent in order to actually get the kill, but it's okay. We still got Kohza still having a little bit of trouble right now between the two Rano pairs, honestly.
Yeah.
Being stuck in a pincer maneuver, and then the pair is finally going to take down Addymestic. Focus Miss kind of struggling to actually land back onto the stage right now.
Yeah. Currently, right now, the name of the game is taking away Flamberik's stock, which he does so with ruthless efficacy, getting an F smash out on Loxodon, then combos the Crag. Focus Miss a demon right now. Doesn't quite manage to find it on the pillar though. Makes it back to the ledge.
A little bit too early on the dive kick, and that's going to allow Kohza to get back onto the stage and then get going with that up air and take the first game for him and Flamberik.
Yeah, very clean conversion. And we don't want to give too much spoilers to the chat, but this was a very, very competitive set.
Yeah, this has been a very competitive set from what we've heard. But it's okay. We're going to go into game 2 on the Tempest alternate stage, which I keep forgetting the name of, but it's okay. Either way, it's going to, I think, a bit more space, but that's a very early stock on Kohza though, which could be the deciding factor right now, just going into this game.
Yeah, honestly, that's so much percent also on the Loxodon. That's a very, very quick start, and it only gets worse with Reno as well because he just doesn't struggle to kill whatsoever. So you can imagine this Loxodon stock could be leaving at any point now. And even Kohza's already caught up to him this percent as well, as Flamberik loses that second stock, loses that first stock. Kohza's sitting at 99, almost 100, doesn't get that up smash, and it's looking very, very rough for the double-headed team.
Yeah, it really feels like they're just getting hit by everything right now. Like, every time there's a Rano on the scene, the other one is just coming in to actually throw out even just a nair or a fair. Doesn't matter, just as long as it racks up the percentage, you know.
Good edge
Anything quick.
Managed to even up the stocks, but immediately the stocks go uneven. A big answer from Addymestic. Focusmith takes a stock back, but it's still looking really, really tough for this double-headed team. And I do like the stage pick as well, in particular, because I think space against this team is exactly what you want. Georgetown can be pretty small, especially when there's like no additional platform. Whereas Stormsweat's pillar, there's a lot of different options on where you can go here, and the edge cancels with Rano up B as well just gives you so many movement options that lets you really evade like Loxodon and Krag, who wants to keep you near.
Definitely. I mean, so far I will say there's been a lot of work being put out, especially from Flamberik, just racking up the percentage slowly but surely on those Ranos, finally evening the stock count as well for the team. And even just the pressure with the F tilt, I feel it's just a really good move to pressure opponents in doubles, just because of the double hit and the threat of actually being pulled back in. And then you've got the pressures coming in, kind of finishing the job, quote unquote, continuing the pressure. And just like that, we are on last stock, but Kohza is going to have to lose that stock here.
Yeah, that was a very good edge smash from Addy. He just about team to up, and here is hell for Loxodon. We're going to be seeing Rano Fairs coming out left and right to hopefully put out a lot of percent. They just want to get the Loxodon in between them so they can start the ping pong. There it is, 80% racked on, still off stage, still getting back air. Flamberik in a very tough position. Good tech though,
especially what a tech, but yeah, the ledge hog was just right there. Like, Loxodon just has a real problem with recovery. Being a very linear character in terms of recovery, so that was going to be rough either way.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, really good game 2 to answer back, but we will be seeing game 3 next, and I think I'm seeing correctly that that's the Aetherian Forest doubles version, which is a really interesting one. Yeah, it's a really interesting stage. I think it's very nice for double heavies because I think it's pretty smooth, honestly. Like, even with the slight extension and the 2 platforms, there's still like not that much area, and especially dying off the side, which, you know, I get smash box on their smash, very, very good at killing off the side. It makes it really, really tough to kind of live in general against these teams. And speaking of living, Addymestic seconds.
That wasn't part of the plan, honestly. Living was not part of the plan. That you've got Flamberik continuing the assault onto that left ledge. Like, relentlessly pounding.
Yeah, this is already looking a little bit tough for the fronts.
Yeah, I will say, like, Focusmith is just going left and right, just throwing out fairs. And for the most part, it's still putting Kohza in a pretty precarious situation in terms of actually getting back onto the stage most of the time. Flamberik's going really far though.
Yeah, he's really pushing that advantage. Really wants like a bigger lead so that they can just kind of play. What's really nice is that if you get the bigger lead, you can play very carelessly with these double heavy teams. You can just start throwing stuff out, and they just, if things are random, it's really hard to expect them. And with all the space and chaos, it leads up to a lot of damage. Maybe even kills. Addymestic taken off the side by, I think that was the Krag, like what is it called? Those little
it was a stand with the rock shards. Just into that blast zone was enough to kill. Yeah. And now we've got Focusmith struggling to get back onto the ledge, finally finding it as Addymestic is going to find that kill onto, I believe, Kohza? I don't know, onto Flamberik. I wasn't sure at this point. Yeah. Flamberik with the back here though, as retaliation.
That's not just about not taking that Rano stock. Rano being a floaty is really scary whenever he gets something into the top because he doesn't have that gravity to survive it. And right now it's looking rough for Addymestic, 102% on this last stock, and this Krag is running him down. Now he's going to deal with the slot stock. Can he hold on to the stock? Can he do a little bit more damage before he loses it? And he does! A big F smash comes out. There's another confirm, and there's the fair! Ooh, the stocks are even!
Reverse hit a little bit of the 4 there, did a lot honestly for him, and that's nice to see. To send him back right onto the stage where his teammate could actually get the kill. But right now we still have to deal with a last stock situation at very high percentage for a double Rano team. It is going to be very rough to actually land. But hey, look at that grab onto Flamberik. This might be the start of something. You never know. So I have to be careful still about that frag. Dash attacking randomly, but the platform not actually moving enough to actually land kohza the up strong.
So both Ranos are surviving right now. They've got these big areas to contend with, in particular Crag Fair and Loxodon back air, and Addymestic finally doesn't DI that F smash correctly and so loses his stock, but Focus is still holding on. Bad DI on that F smash, another F smash! Is he gonna take both stocks?
Yeah, it's very close to it at the very least. Like, if you had delayed just the needle a little bit, he would have sniped that pillar. But it will allow kohza to continue a little bit of pressure. No, it would seem like Focus still has the advantage here, trying desperately to find just a single fair to actually finish things off. But down B into fair is going to be what's coming up. But I think the bubble might have saved him. My goodness, what is going on at this point?
Focus just got holding on, and he gets the parry! What reaction! Oh my goodness, what a clutch performance from Focus to win that game!
The comeback was insane, honestly. It really felt like the chips were down for the double run on the team, and then Focus just goes in, survives by the skin of his teeth, and just makes it.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous performance from Focus, who has really just had the clutch gene today, honestly. We saw a set earlier on stream with him versus Solid, where he managed to pull back game 3 and then accomplish a reverse 3-0. So you know that this throw is just locked in today, but I don't think that the double Rano team is out of the woods just yet.
Definitely feels like it, especially with kohza getting some really good strings right now. Honestly, onto both Ranos. The real question is, can he actually get the kill at this point with maybe some random up smash, you know? You never know. Get back onto the stage. Flamberik right now still in the mixer. Focus is going to have to retreat here to the blast zone as he tried to actually be a little bit cheeky, but no, the upstroke from Flamberik is just going to hit kohza for sure and put it in the worst position against Focus.
Fair finally takes that first stop with Flamberik and kohza, so this will be the next target for the double frog. The Amphibians not quite finding their mark, and it's Addy that actually uses the stop first, and Focus is still off stage with no jump, I believe, has to use the bubble, finds out the maximum of that range, just about makes it back.
Yeah, he found the perfect path back to the stage, but he's not out of the woods yet. Like right now we still have to contend with some up strongs, charge up strongs from the Loxodon. I gotta be careful because we're back to this situation where Focus is just kind of stuck on onto the down part of that ledge, where it's kind of Loxodon's playground if you just let him. That's the problem.
It's the worst feeling in the world where the Loxodon pulls the trigger on that run on down air and it catches you lacking, and it's really tough. And it's especially tough for this double Rano team that is lacking in stocks, and Addymestic is not in a good position percentage-wise. In fact, he's not in a position at all because he's back down to 0%. Last stock for the Amphibians, who are struggling at this point to make their mark.
I think at this point it might actually take another good Focus clutch to actually make it. So far we did get rid of that second stock onto Flamberik, so there is still a little bit of hope, and we're going to even catch with that command grab tong. But Flamberik right now is going to go for those tech chases with the side B. But yeah, there's still the problem of actually landing onto the stage for Focus.
Especially at 128, there's a lot of options to be dissuaded from Frag and Loxodon. And getting hit off the pillar means that he's going to survive that Loxodon up smash, actually. So, Focus is holding on, but it's not looking great as he just gets caught in a scrap and unfortunately I think takes a Crag Fair to the face. And
yeah, the trade was definitely not in his favor. And now we have 3 stocks to actually get rid of on Addymestic's side, which is not good. It's not a great position to be in.
It's good DI in though. He survives that stock and managed to pick at least one more off.
Yeah. And a good F strong. The second F strong not going to be quite enough to kill, but slowly but surely making way. There's always a possibility of something happening. Oh, but try to call out maybe the early rock on the parry. And now you're back off stage.
It's a miserable situation, but Addymestic makes it out. What a tech from Kohza, who survives that fair.
Barely gets up the pillar in time. But unfortunately, Flamberik is still covering that ledge. 173%. Anything is going to kill at this point, and yeah, just goes back in with down being too fair. The classic.
Yeah.
Just enough to
make. They had the slightest ray of hope there, but unfortunately, Kohza was just too switched on there. Amazing tech. Brings us to Game 5, and this is just Game 5 of the first set, by the way. If there is a second set, this is Game 5 of the first one. So even if Focus and Addymestic managed to take this game, they would still have to contend another set against this fearsome duo of heavyweights.
Yeah, and on Rock Wall too, like, this is going to be a rough one. Like, stocks are going to fly on this stage for sure.
Yeah.
So far, I will say, it is an interesting pick, just because, like, it's going to allow the Ranos to maybe get some more early kills, but at the same time, they're so floaty that they might just fly out at like 90 or something.
Yeah, Rano, I think, is very good at killing off the sides. So obviously, those close sides are like pretty nice for multiple, like especially for an affair.
Badly DI'd fair. And like, yeah, with the ledge hog, Flamberik kind of just dropping onto that under that ledge.
So yeah, I played unfortunately he doesn't quite actually manage to cast correctly. But I played a double storm with Focus recently, and we decided that we actually quite like this stage in doubles. There's a lot of space. Team combos can be quite strong if you use the platforms correctly. It's like not that easy compared to some of the other stages. Overall, I think it really tests your competence. And Focus Miss is a very, very good double player. He's got a lot of experience. He grinds it almost every day. So I'm not surprised that he might have like pushed for this pick, because I think it is a really strong one for him. And it's working out quite swimmingly right now, honestly. Addymestic still on first stock. Kohza and Flamberik both looking in really rough positions at the moment. It's looking like we might be seeing a reset.
Yeah, I will say though, obviously, like, Rockwell is a little bit less well-heroic from as in Rivals 1, even if I still meme a little bit about it. But yeah, it's, there's a little bit of a space to work with. Just gotta be careful about those blast zones overall.
Yeah. Those blast zones working for them though right now. Addymestic is a fortunate kill off the side, and once again, Flamberik doesn't make it back to the ledge. We're seeing
not gonna make it here
this game. Maybe the pressure is finally starting to kick in the Game 5 situation, but right now it is the Frogs who are looking like they are not tired right now. They are built for this pressure. They are working together in such distinct harmony, and Addymestic gets that F smash, and it's looking finished, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. Like, I feel like Loxodon is also going to have a lot of trouble just dealing with the needles constantly from two different Ranos coming at him full speed. And yeah, it's looking really bad. A little bit of a mistiming on the parry from Focus Miss, but it's okay. We still got the pressure from Addymestic in order to actually cover the ledge roll. And at this point, it's just a matter of yeah, it's kind of a game of ping pong.
And just about to take on the top. Again, Loxodon, bit of a floaty. He's going to die off the top a lot just because of his low gravity, and they make good use of it there. And they take the first set. We get the first set 3.
We got a reset.
So we're in a reset, yeah.
We have a reset. Honestly, it's great to see. It's just more rivals for everyone. So, you know.
Of course. Starting off on Jules Veil again. This is an interesting pick. I can imagine it's probably the neutral stage because you don't want her dojo against this double heavy team.
Yeah,
you don't really want support. Neither team, and the Frogs definitely don't want Forest either, so I can see them going to this or Godai, and I think these guys are always going to pick this over Godai.
Yeah, it's just the neutral round. It worked pretty well, so yeah, might as well go to it.
Clean double fair from the Ranos. We're putting on a lot of percent right now. And sort of divisioning the two players. I don't know if you're seeing it. Like, they kind of like sectioning each of them off and dealing with their own 1v1s as they slowly boost their heart. It can be really effective when the other players are at high percent in particular, because it's just like they take so much more damage from a trade. Unfortunately, Focus with SDs and kind of throws away that really advantageous position. So it's looking a lot more doable.
Just a little bit too committal. Like, Obviously, Kohza was going to take that. Like, it was kind of a telegraph there. But it's okay. We just get back into the game. It's fine. And we still got a lot of pressure going on onto Kohza. Like, Kohza really struggling to just land at this point. Finally getting some kind of opening onto Focus Miss. But yeah, that's still 180% on that crack. Or that crack won't die that easily, so.
Instead, it's Flamberik who's going to take a second stock from a spike from Focus Miss and manage to take that off. And finally, the crack misses stock and Addymestic still holding on. And it's looking good for our frogs, who lost on this stage last time. So this is a really interesting turn of events.
Yeah, again, it's really good to see. We still got a lot of hitboxes coming in, finally equalizing the stock counter, thanks to Flamberik's, I believe, Nair at this point.
Yeah.
But right now, we have such a clear strategy of like everyone being in that little tiny space in the middle of the stage and not really managing to get any kind of space whatsoever. And you've got to contend now with Flamberik just random upstronging across the stage with the magma.
So speaking of random strongs, Addymestic, I swear, has thrown out about 1 million F smashes and every single one of them is connected. He's so clean on them apparently. They might not even be random, he might just even know when to press that button because it's looking so precise at the moment from him. And he's really made this a tough position for the double heavies who get an F smash from the other side. So stocks are even and the percents aren't actually looking too bad. So it's a really good response, but a back air's gonna really like crack. And now Flamberik once more is all alone.
And once again in that really awful situation of having to actually get back onto the stage against two Ranos as Loxodon. I mean, so far still managing pretty well, just because I feel like the Ranos are being pretty far away from the ledge for the most part. But I feel like if right now Focus just drops down, it doesn't even need to. Like Flamberik was just way too low on that interaction.
Yeah, very, very, honestly solid game overall, which is interesting. But I think, if I saw correctly, we're actually going to go back to Jules Vale, and I don't blame the double heavy team here for this, because I think it makes sense. Like, they won the first game, and I think it is advantageous for the sizes of their hitbox especially, but they just need to play it a little bit more careful, I suppose. They can't quite throw rings to caution like they were doing before. It's clear that these Rhinos have adapted a little bit to a neutral game plan, and so now it's time to adapt back.
Yeah, they kind of need to like maybe slow down the pace just a little bit, and going back to that strategy of actually separating the two teammates, I feel like right now it is Flamberik and kohza who should be separating the two Ranos from each other, because every time that they're together, they're just going to throw out like random nairs or random fairs, random back airs, just some very quick moves to annoy everybody.
Good catches on the up Bs though right now from kohza, especially getting big effort. Focus was far, or Addymestic far away. Managed to put on a little bit of pressure from the patch, and bad DI from kohza unfortunately on that F smash. Who did not see it coming, doesn't get the bubble because Focus Miss gets there first, and as a result, he loses stock quite early for a Krag. 100% is not what you like to see as a heavyweight, but answers straight back with that ball there.
Yeah, it's definitely a little shift of momentum going on right now. We are seeing that kohza maybe just a little bit shaken from that early stock, gets back pretty quick into the game though, racking up the percentage alongside Flamberik just very quickly right now, and it's going to allow them to get another stock onto Addymestic. And now you've got more upstorms coming in from Flamberik. Finally, we're getting the stock onto the Loxodon, but that is a lot of damage still done to that frog team.
To point out, there's another F smash from Addymestic. I think we need a counter at this point for the amount of F smashes this guy is hitting and killing me. It's kind of insane. But what's also insane is the answer back from kohza, who destroys Focus Miss's stock and brings it down to 1. Unfortunately, instantly answered back, and we are seeing even stocks. Ooh, Flamberik just about surviving off the side, giving him a little bit of life.
And he's still in a difficult situation. Like yeah, I was about to say, like he was like 1 pixel away from like a ledge hog, an unfortunate ledge hog. But still. And more strongs coming in from Flamberik. Like, he does not care. He's just going to throw out those strongs as much as possible and kind of waiting for kohza to maybe combo into them. I feel like that's the strategy right now that they're trying to go for, just waiting for kohza to just send one of the two frogs into his strongs. And so far it's kind of working, you know?
In that case, he held because kohza was in the line of fire, which is really good awareness, honestly. Flamberik clearly a rider of doubles. I haven't seen his name around too much, but clearly knows what he's doing at the moment, as he is the stock tank. Ultimately, that comes to an end, unfortunately, and they are down to even stocks and very even percents. Honestly, this Krag at 152, this Rano at 151, anything could happen. They're looking to kill the Krag. They're looking to pressure that landing. Folks just have the right idea with shielding the Krag pillar, but not quite the right timing, and it's looking dicey for every team right now. Upstrong comes out, doesn't kill. Upstrong comes out, doesn't hit. There's the kill, though.
There it is. And I would call only Addymestic having to have to go for the miracle at this point. And you can kind of see Flamberik right now going in, and the grab release into the Upstrong is going to be what takes it. Always gotta be wary of that grab release. Like I feel like it's a tool that we don't see too often being used. Just in general, because it's supposed to be so laggy, but in doubles, I feel like it's a very surprising move that can work very well.
It's a good idea to just kind of use a single pummel because, like you said, grab release works. Even if he doesn't get the down throw, it's still going to kill, so it works out really well. And we're back immediately to rock balls. The Frogs very happy with their performance on this stage last time, I think, and so they're eager to take that back here. We're not banning it. I do wonder what the bans are. We haven't seen Hyperborean, we haven't seen Air Armada. I don't think there's a rough savers, honestly, for lots of holes, but I think that's some fairly good recoveries, but it might just be the not wanting to deal with just the sort of craziness that those stages come in, the unfamiliar situations. They want to keep it nice and simple, and keeping it simple is working out really well right now. Excellent use of Razor as the green team managed to take the first stock, and this is still being pressure on this side, managed to make it out of there, but I just like the positioning in particular of the green team right now. They are working together, they are not getting segmented, and they are pressuring the side of the stage really effectively.
Yeah, the problem is that every time that Flamberik is off stage, I'm getting very scared for him. Just because, like, again, the pressure of all those hitboxes that Rano can kind of throw out, doubled, quote-unquote. It's a scary situation. Good take from Focus Fist onto that pillar. Back tools going right against them. But it's okay, Flamberik is still going to be covering that landing from Focus Miss. Just in return. We're still doing quite okay, even though we are one stock late onto the blue team.
Yeah. Flamberik's doing a good percent on the other run. It's getting pretty high, honestly. And that's very scary on right balls, running out several times. We have some very close sidebar zones, and we have some high platforms that can lead into some kills off the top as well. I think that was back throw from Rano killing on kohza, which at 182%.
You don't see that every day. You definitely don't see that every day.
What we do see every day is Krag Fair, though.
Yeah, Krag Fair is definitely I think that's going to kill a lot of people, especially on this stage. But still, gotta be careful, and we've got a lot of zoning now coming out from Flamberik with a little bit of meatball movement, tricky meatball movement. I still think meatball might be like the second best projectile in the game after rock, just because of versatility. But it can go back, it can fire against people pretty easily as well. So, you know, gotta be just a little bit careful about how you use meatball.
There's another Krag Fair, and there's another Locks back end of two heavies making use of their most famous killing aerials to get rid of those stocks. The final stock of Addymestic, may I point out, that guy lost his stocks very, very quickly, and has led to a rough situation for Focus Fist, who has now somehow survived 4 stocks of double heavies. I've never seen it done. Maybe Pia can prove me wrong. He does have that clutch gene, but no, it's
yeah,
not
but
you
gotta remember as well, like the legend tangibility is much less than in melee for the most part, so it's kind of easy to just maybe have like 1 or 2 seconds of legend tangibility, and then the Loxodon just comes in and down there's you.
This is very true. And we are running it back, straight back to Rockwall. Like you said, the Frogs like it. And I don't think they've got reason to dislike it. I think they just got outplayed that game. They got segmented. I think they got pieced apart a little bit. They got caught off guard a lot by the kill moves. And so overall, they know that the stage isn't the problem. It's just the gameplay. So if they can tighten up on the gameplay, we might just see a game 5. And that would be a game 10 in this grand final of doubles.
Yeah, we just gotta clean up our act a little bit, you know. After you've got focus with the suit, you know, looking pretty dapper, and that skill was definitely looking dapper. Unfortunately, it led to his immediate death afterwards, but still.
Yeah, Addymestic was holding the S smash, I believe, for Flamberik coming back to save, but wasn't quite anticipating his teammate arriving there first, unfortunately.
Yep. As you can see, kohza kind of being cheeky with it, with the pillar as well, trying to just get some very cheeky stuff in the middle of the stage, because, you know, why not? We might as well try it. It's possible. It might actually kill. You never know. Ooh, but the pillar actually saving kohza, but not Flamberik, who just goes right past it.
Unfortunately, Focus just goes straight up from an up smash and is already down into his last stock, much like kohza. So this is a weird game, honestly. Addymestic holding on to 3 stocks. Flamberik trying to hold on to the second, while this other Rano and this Frag are just about surviving. Addymestic loses that second stock. There's still lots to play with though, even if Focus has to steal a stock, it's not looking too bad, but it is looking bad for kohza right now, 81%. And finally, you know that poison stacking you mentioned right at the beginning? It comes into play. He gets side-beaten and he takes like 50.
Yeah, at the same time, Flamberik acted as a good diversion to actually not being hit too much on kohza's side and not actually getting the kill off of that bubble. But still, that is a lot of percentage to actually rack up onto Bragg, nonetheless. And now we've got the situation where there's a lot of aerials coming down that left side of the stage, and eventually one of them has to kill.
Yeah, it's Rana, man. He's got too many killing areas. It's too much pressure right now. But right now, kohza's dealing with it pretty appropriately. Kind of camping, and that's a very good strategy that I actually very much condone in doubles when you're at this very high percent, going back to back off these really high platforms, trying to get a lot of distance away from these frogs to be able to hold on, because Focus was playing out of his mind. He's on 62% and he hit this last stop like a minute ago. In doubles, that's insane. And Addymestic answers back. Finally, kohza loses that stock, and we're in a very, very familiar position. Flamberik, 1 stock to go. It's possible, but it's difficult.
Yeah, on 3 stock though, against double Rano, and now he's off stage. Like, I'm not thinking that he's going to last that much longer at this point. We are going to, however, get the snipe with the back air, but Focus Biz was just right behind in order to cover up that recovery.
Yeah, and that is going to take us to game 10 of this grand finals. Addymestic and Focus is coming from the loser side, have fought valiantly, but Flamberik and kohza really wants to just shut them down, and we are going right back to Swarm Sweat Pillar to finish it off.
It has been a very intense set, I will say. Both teams being very close in terms of skill level, which is great to see, because at the beginning of Rivals 2, I feel like not that many people in Europe were playing doubles to begin with. And now it's kind of catching a little bit of, a little bit of traction. And we see a lot more people just slowly but surely starting to grind out doubles and everything. And it's been great to see, honestly.
Yeah, especially in the Europe grind zone, we're seeing like 3 double things a day right now. It's crazy. The people are fiending for it. I think it's really catching on. I'll be really interested, especially with big brackets like Valhalla coming up, to see what we can show. It's really interesting, actually. Focus Med Addymestic is their team at Valhalla. They're teaming together at that tournament. So if they do win here, it's a good omen, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, even if they don't, it's going to be a pretty good omen. Good practice for Valhalla overall. But obviously we do want to see them win at this point. But the double frost is not going to make it that easy, because again, lots of hitboxes to contend with. We got a little bit of space, thankfully, on pillar, but still, gotta be careful nonetheless.
kohza in particular here is in a really rough position. He's still kind of getting edged on and put off stage. And there's a Rano Fair that comes out. He doesn't tech yet, and it's down to 1 stock for the Crag. Addymestic doesn't quite DI Loxon Fair. F-throw, but Loxon all the way off stage. Can he save him the pillar?
Yeah, he tries.
Misses.
Yeah, he tried to, and you could see Flamberik trying to do the Mario between the pillar and the stage.
Very good effort, but unfortunately it's a really rough situation for double headers now. kohza 54-point last stop. Flamberik is fresh in the second, and everyone else is on second spot at least. But it's not easy for sure. It's quite the lead they have to navigate at this point.
Yeah, and Addymestic is pretty low on percentages as well, so it's not like Flamberik can go into a random strongs mode, kind of hoping for Addymestic to kind of land into it. He has to kind of work for it, and now we've got both Ranos onto that Loxodon. It is going to look very dire. Both characters on the green team being completely offstage. Thankfully, Flamberik managing to get the up B spike just in time, but still. Looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, kohza's still at 1 stop, 130 seconds, goes back to the pillar, has to refresh the pillar, has to navigate this, jumps off, has to up B. Ooh, Nero catches the double back air combo! Manages to steal that final shot. kohza's going to take it. He needs to be there for Flamberik right now. Flamberik needs to survive a little bit, needs to at least put on a bit of percent if they're going to make this comeback.
Yeah, and so far we're seeing just a lot of pressure coming in with the fares from kohza. But Flamberik is off stage. Thankfully, the double Rano team is just a little bit too focused with kohza, and is going to allow Flamberik to get back on stage, but that fare is going to finish the job. Addymestic actually finding the final kill onto Flamberik in this doubles tournament. And then kohza trying to be a little bit fancy with the command grab, but it is looking dire, absolutely dire, and now it's just a matter of can you navigate all the needles, all the up airs in order to get back onto stage. It is going to be a down throw from Addymestic. We're back onto that offstage situation. kohza being very taking the time to actually grab a rock onto the pillar, but yeah, it's not going to be enough.
No, he spent, I don't know, 30 seconds off stage, and at that point you don't have any resources, and it is impossible to navigate past Rano back air, and that is Addymestic and Focus Miss taking the set, taking the Game 10 Grand Finals. What an incredible set to start off this block for us, honestly. That was incredibly well played from everyone.